Most YouTube business owners are making at least one of these five mistakes and they don't even realize it because no one tells them. These mistakes might look small in the beginning, especially in the beginning, but over time, they quietly destroy your channel and kill your sales and drop your revenue and other things, right? So I've seen this mistake happen with creators or YouTube business owners who had great business running, great content or real product, even decent views, but the channels still were not making that kind of money because of these exact mistakes. So in this video, what you will learn is what these five hidden mistakes are, how to spot the ones which you are making, how to fix them fast. And the final fifth mistake is the one that keeps YouTube business owners or YouTube businesses from making money, making a ton of money outside. Over the past few years, I have analyzed hundreds of YouTube business owners, work with amazing people, and now I am building a tool to help YouTube business owners make more money with ease. On YouTube, if you don't know like what's holding you back as a YouTube business owner, you will keep repeating these same mistakes until you quit YouTube or you feel burnt out. But just imagine being able to not repeat that anymore. You always get the dopamine hit that you are climbing high, high, high and making money at the same time, making more and more money at the same time. So it starts with this. One of the biggest mistakes business owners make on YouTube is just chasing views instead of customers. It's logical, right? More views means more business, but that's not how it works. In fact, a video with 100K views will generate less sales than a video with only 1,000 views if your content is not aligned with what you are offering as a business on YouTube. When you only focus on views, you start tailoring your content to what the algorithm wants and what the algorithm needs to push your videos to go viral, not what your customers need. That usually means you will start creating broad mass market videos that will attract people who were never going to buy from you in the first place. And that's not what you want, I guess. It's obvious that you will feel exciting that the video crosses 100K views. Okay, I made it, right? You made it. Video across 100K views, video across 500K views, all of those things, it will feel exciting. But views don't pay the bills unless you are just relying on ads, affiliates, sponsorships. But still, they don't make that much money compared to what your business will make. All those views do it, they eat up your energy, time, and money. The worst of all, they will pull you farther away from your actual goals, which is making a ton of money on YouTube. So instead of thinking like just another YouTuber, I want you to think like a real business that happens to have a YouTube channel. Now, read that line one more time. I want you to think like a real business that happens to have a YouTube channel. I want you to think like that. That means you have to track the metrics that actually matter for your business, which means you'll be tracking link clicks. Okay, how many people clicked on the links? How many people went to your landing page, how many people booked a call, how many people signed up for your leads, how many people purchased your product, all of those things, how many sales you got, how much revenue you got. These are the things that will tell you that if your content is really working or not. You'll find out once you know, like once you dive deeper in it. By the way, I'm also giving away completely free calls for channel reviews. Like we'll be talking on the calls and it's completely free. I'm not charging anything like, and it's not even a sales call. You might think, okay, it's a sales call, 15 minutes, 30 minutes sales calls. If you have been in the industry, like the business service industry before, people charge for it or they want to push for the higher product. But I'm not charging you anything. It's completely free. We will do one-on-one live call together. I used to charge people for this, but I'm giving it completely for free for the first 100 people only. And if you want to be one of those 100 people who wants their channel reviewed, then there should be a link below to check it out. Just go and check. So, yes, you will feel rewarding that your views are going up, your video cross 100K, like I said earlier. You'll feel like you have just made it, like you're at the top of the mountain now, right? There's no going back. But the truth is, those views don't lead to sales. Most of them, they are just meaningless views. 100,000 people who just had a good entertainment, good laugh, or just learned a random tape, like which they won't even use it. It's not going to pay your bills. But at the same time, 1,000 people who deeply resonated with your solution can completely change your business. So the key here is that you have to create the content for your ideal customers, not just like any viewer, any random viewer who comes across your channel, but the people who are most likely to buy from you. Think about the problems they're facing right now currently. Create videos that provide the solution to those specific problems. What this strategy will do is it will help you build trust with the people. When you help people for free, people trust you more. And if it's valuable enough, people will buy more from you. And you have to be in that exact position. Like, what a shock, right? When you help people for free, when you give enough valuable thing for free, people will think, okay, this guy has something up his sleeves. This guy has some hidden secret treasure that I want to solve my problems, and they will pay for it. They will happily pay for it. What a shock, right? You don't get to see these type of things nowadays, and that's why it's valuable. But you have to be careful here. This is where many businesses misunderstand the value. They will think that value just means being entertaining or informative. But for a business, value is about solving a problem for your target customer. You have to target your ideal customers, then guide them toward your paid solution. That's the real value. Now, here's why most business owners avoid these spots at all, because it's harder to measure. Views are immediate and obvious. You get the dopamine hit. Okay, you just create a video, upload the video, and check back the video the next day or the next week, and there's a number like, I don't know, maybe 10K, maybe 100K, maybe a million, depends upon what you're targeting. That's it. But tracking conversions, you used to click to opt in, how many people signed up, and like I said earlier, how many people signed up for your email newsletters, how many leads you got, how many calls you booked, where you're losing revenue. Tracking all of those things, it's much harder, but it's worth it. And this requires more setup, more patience, and more analysis. But this is the difference between being just another YouTuber, just being a content creator who barely survives. And that's why people burn out, because they don't make a lot of money. And people usually have, I think, 5 to 10 years window if they are focusing on one thing. But as a business owner, you can run this for like 25 years, 30 years if you want. That's what I'm saying. You have to focus on being a business owner here on YouTube, not just another content creator. You have to be serious. At the end of the day, views are just the byproduct. Your main goal is conversions. Your main goal is sales, revenue, how much money you got into your pocket, how much money you got into your bank account. That's just the first mistake YouTube business owners make here on YouTube. Then we have this big second mistake YouTube businesses make. I see YouTube businesses keep repeating this mistake, which is their business don't line up at all with the videos they are creating. Now, here's what I mean. They create tons of videos, sometimes like even grow an audience, a large audience. I'm not saying like just 1K or 10K subscribers. Sometimes they even hit 100K views, 100K subscribers, but they don't have any idea what their business is. Their business is not lining up at all with the content they are creating. What happens is this does not naturally lead people from their content to the thing they are trying to sell. That's why you might have seen TikToker, Instagram influencer, or just a YouTuber. They might have like a million followers, but when they try to sell a hoodie, when they try to sell a merch, they get zero sales. Might have seen this. That's exactly the thing, because they don't have influence over the thing that they are promoting on the content. Their content is completely misaligned, and that's not what we want to focus if we are a business. This might not sound like a big deal in the beginning, but the reality is you have just built completely two separate systems. One system, let's say you have a system A where you keep creating videos for the YouTube, and you have another system, which is system B, which is your business. Normally, you want to focus on both, and you want to build a bridge between these two things. But what happens over time is that people try to make YouTube videos viral, and they go broad, and they start creating videos that never align with your business. It just doesn't add up at all. The people who watch your videos are never primed to buy your things. There's no breeze between these two. And when you don't have a bridge, what happens is you can't cross the river. You have content on one side, business on one side, and no money, right? That's not where we want to sit. We want to build a bridge between these two things. And here's the problem. When there is no bridge, what happens is your viewers never take the next step, which is again buying your product or service or whatever you are selling. Viewers never take the next step. The other thing I would say problem is that people just happily watch your content, but when you finally present your product or service, or the ask, you say, okay, I bought this product, now go and buy it. Or I've got this product, I've got this lead magnet. The ask feels like kind of awkward, out of place. like just irrelevant, or worse, it will start to feel pushy. Because think about it. You're creating videos about topic about A, business is about B. Like I said earlier, there's no base here, and you're just pushing your business B, 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 and people will start to feel pushy, 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 and your views count might go down over time. Who knows? If your audience starts to feel that way, your conversion rates tank to the bottom of the ocean. So let me give you an example that you can relate. Imagine there's a content creator, let's say, who makes videos about marketing, ads, sales. Okay, you go to Facebook, you run these ads. You go to YouTube, you run these ads, and this is how you track. This is the software you use. This is the CRM you use. This is the landing page you use. All of those things. He shares great content about the marketing on his YouTube channel. But then the same creator tries to sell a high ticket service on the LinkedIn course. At first, you might think, okay, this is still marketing. So it makes sense to buy. You look from the third perspective, like without any deep insights, without any expert insight. You might think, okay, it makes sense because he's in marketing and he's trying to sell the LinkedIn growth system, LinkedIn lead generation. But when you look from the viewer's perspective, what happens is like the viewer does not see it the same way you see it from the third perspective. LinkedIn can't even be mentioned in those videos if you are talking about Facebook ads. Okay, like I said earlier, there's a gap. There's no bridge between these two. Your job is to find a bridge, and your job is to build the bridge. That disconnect right there, it's what destroys most of the YouTube businesses. And over time, it just does not hurt your business. It hurts your real life too. You feel burnt out, that you can't work anymore. You get discouraged. People will comment a lot of bad things. People don't even know what you're selling. Your views tank to the bottom of the ocean. You start to think that YouTube does not work anymore. Meanwhile, the same business owner in your same exact niche who has aligned their content with your offer is making consistent sales and scaling their business. They're enjoying it, right? You can see it from the far away. So what's the fix? Like, what's the magic they're applying here? The thing is, you need to create videos that point directly toward the thing that you are selling. Think of your channel as the lead generation channel for your business. First step is you create free content. That's just the awareness level, like interest level. You are already interested. You think that you're selling. And the next step is free lead magnet or the proof collection system, which I use heavily most of the time because you need proof in the beginning. Final step is to convert those leads into the actual sales, the people who are interested in your thing. Now, this is just the second mistake. I see this third mistake happening over and over and over and over. It doesn't even matter if you are a beginner or intermediate or even a professional business owner on the YouTube creating the videos. This exact same mistake, the same trap keeps showing up regularly, which is they completely rely on the YouTube for their whole business. Here, don't get me wrong, YouTube is powerful. And yes, you can absolutely generate sales only from YouTube videos. But here's the problem. You don't own the platform. You're just renting the space to run your business. If YouTube decides to break the algorithm or tweak something, first of all, is not promote your video, even ban your channel, right? That's the final nail in the coffin. Your whole business can disappear overnight just like that. Think about that for a second. Years of effort that you put into creating your business, maybe 1 year, maybe even 6 months, or maybe even 2 years, 5 years. I don't know how long it will be, but years of your efforts, those vanish into the void. All of that momentum you have built, it can just vanish in 1 second. But there's a solution here. You can always own your audience. I would say instead of seeing your videos as the end goal, start viewing them as the beginning of a new relationship. Your primary goal should not be just getting views or chasing subscribers here. It should be turning viewers into leads and customers. And the best way to do that is you have to build assets that no one can actually take away from you, which means you own the 100% of it, 110% of it, 200% of it. And the most powerful way to do that is just build an email list. Isn't it cool, huh? You don't need to fight an algorithm to get your content in front of the people who have already raised their hands that I want to hear more from this guy as I need more content, more valuable tips from this guy. If YouTube disappears tomorrow, you will still have a way to reach your audience, to nurture them, and sell your products or services. But here is the catch again. Not all email lists are created equal. If your emails do not deliver any value, people simply won't even open them. They'll just ignore it, or worse, unsubscribe. The goal is not just to collect emails of people, the goal is to build a valuable email list, which means you have to build a list that people actually look forward to hearing from you. This solves the third mistake of YouTube business owners, just depending on the YouTube platform for business only. But most of the YouTube business owners will repeat this fourth mistake again and again. They try to do all of the things at once, which creates a lot of complexity. Maybe you have seen this with someone who launches a YouTube channel within a week. They already have a 10-step funnel, right? They have 3 different landing pages. They have 5 different products to sell. It looks nice, right? Okay, they are doing a lot of work, especially in the beginning, because they have to test a lot of things. It looks nice thing to do. It looks nice thing to focus on, especially at the beginning. But the thing is, it's not the right thing. It's not the thing that you should be focusing. It's a nice thing, but it's not the right thing. You want to focus on the right thing to do, especially at the beginning, because you have to go through all of this crap to find out the thing that actually works for you. It just creates unnecessary headaches and complexity, and you get bogged down by it. Here's the truth. Complicated does not equal professionalism. Complicated just usually means that you are confused and you are trying to do everything at once. When you are super clear about one thing or the thing that you're actually doing, you know exactly what steps to take. You know exactly what are the steps, and you can make it simple. That's why you see a lot of people who are just super technical about their things. When they try to explain, they can't explain. They can't explain in a way that a normal person understands it, right? They just explain the technical things. But when you see the super, super, super technical people who understand everything, now they can explain all of those technical things in a simple way that you can understand it. One of those people I would say is Neil deGrasse or Digres. I don't know. I'm sorry for butchering his name. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think. He explains all of the science things in much, 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 much easier way to understand it. And that's what you want to be. Think of it like this. If today is your day one, why would you compare yourself to someone else's day 500? Why would you even do that? It just doesn't make any sense. Already established business owners can afford to do 5 different funnels, 3 different landing pages, 5 different products, 10-step email leads, all of those things, all of those complicated things, because they will have a team in the back end, they have someone else who can take care of all of those things. They can do everything at once because they know how it works. Now they are just branching it out to collect more revenue. But if you are just getting started, copying them is just like putting a second story on the building or a house before the foundation, before the basic foundation, first floor, it's even finished. You can't build your house from the sky to the bottom. Like you have to build the foundation, first floor, second floor, third floor. Then you will start to build a building or house. That's how you go. So let's simplify the process and just focus on what you should be building at that stage where you are. In the beginning, your business only needs to do 3 things. Only 3 things. A great video, which means great content with content's real value, and one clear call to action, which means you are not leading people to 10 different sites. You are just giving them one clear call to action for your one thing only. You are selling one thing. And that's the whole game at the beginning. Make videos that people want to watch. You have to deliver actual value, not just like surface level tips, general tips that everyone shares, and you know it. Best way to do that is making people to either subscribe or just get the lead magnet, because you can collect the emails and at the same time you can appear in their home feed, recommendation feed over and over and over, and they start to build the habit of watching your videos again and again and again. Think of your first 100 subscribers as your basic foundations. Those are the people who are proving your idea has legs. Once you have legs, you can slowly start to walk towards your 100 true fans, 1,000 true fans. And once you get at that point, you start to run faster and faster and faster, right? Once you have that trust, once you have those 1,000 true fans, you start to run. Then you can start layering in a simple funnel or a product or ads, but not before. This is where the idea of an MVP comes, a minimal viable product. I don't know if you are familiar with the startup world or not, but let me tell you something about startup world. First, what they do is, especially at the beginning when they had zero customers, they have to build a minimal viable product. They have to know what their business is going to be. You have something on mind. Okay, we are going to build this thing, but we need to know what customers actually want, and that's what you have to do. You have to test your videos. If people want it, they will tell you by actually buying it. You don't need a massive 10 hours course to show the value. You can just start with a simple 1 hour call. That's enough to prove people that you care about the thing that you are offering. In startup world, what they do is like they just test the smallest version of your idea that still looks that it solves a real problem, and it actually solves a real problem. That's how they build the first 10 customers, first 100 customers, and first 1,000 customers. Once there are over 1,000 customers, over 1,000 recurring paying customers, they are basically over $1 million companies. So if people want to pay, they will actually tell the founders or whoever is running the company that, okay, I have this problem. Can you solve it? And once they solve it, people will pay it. If 10 people are paying for it, if 100 people are paying for it, if 1,000 people are paying for it, then they will look at the time total addressable market, how many people actually are in the whole market. Okay, we have got a million people who can pay for it. We only have 1,000 people. Now, let's go and target a million people. How do you do that? That's how they go broad market from the beginning. But the thing is, the same principle applies to your emails and your scripts. Short, simple, and clear almost always beats long and complicated emails, because a tight 200 to 400 word email can get better results than a 2,000 word essay. So, if you are just starting out, remember that your job is not to look professional or build complicated funnels or to do complicated things in the beginning. Your job is to prove that you can deliver consistent value, consistent high value outset. Keep it simple, focus on the basics, and go from there on. And this is just the fourth mistake we are talking about. Now, I told you earlier that the fifth mistake is the one that keeps most YouTube business owners from making a ton of money. This is the big boss of all the mistakes. Of all the mistakes, most business owners are honestly just afraid of selling. And I get it that they're afraid of selling, because when you are creating content, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere else, it just feels safe as long as you are just giving away the value, creating content. But the moment you ask people to buy something, that fear knocks on your door. That fear shows up, right? The Grim Reaper. What if they think I'm pushy? What if they call me a scammer? What if I lose my audience just because I made an offer? What if my views start to go down? What if? You start to think a lot of things in your brain. This stops you from selling. But the reality is, selling is not what makes people live. Your audience, it's already divided whether you sell or not. Your audience is already divided into three things: the top 10%, which are high performers, the bottom 10%, which are low performers, and the middle 80%, which are just, okay, I'm going to watch the video. If there is something valuable enough here, then I might buy something. You know the theory about it. There's always going to be top 10% of people who absolutely love you and your work. These are the people who comment, share our content, and tell others about your business. On the other end, there's another 10% who just don't like you no matter what you do. They'll leave negative comments, might even call you names. And then right in the middle, you have got the 80% of the majority people. And these are the people who just casually enjoy your content, watch your videos, maybe learn something useful, but they are not emotionally involved either way. So your main job is to focus on the top 10%. You have to focus on this side, and your main job is to turn these people into these people. You have to focus here. Just don't focus on this side. So just ignore all of this. Focus here. Focus on these people who are going to buy from you, and try to convert these middle people into the high top 10 performers. So I even say, why stress over the 10% of the bottom performers, bottom haters? Think about it. Even Jesus Christ still has haters till this day. Even Buddha has haters till this day. If a God gets hate, then I don't think we will be somehow able to avoid it. The key is to stop giving your energy to that group and instead solve the ones who actually care. And here's the most important part. If you know your product or service genuinely helps people, then selling is not something to be ashamed of. You are not scamming anyone. Solving real problem means changing lives. And that's a good thing to do, not only for your clients, but also for your business. Think about it. And there's a great line that I like to think for myself whenever I think, okay, I might be pushing too much here. People might be thinking, okay, this guy is selling too much. This guy is doing salesy things. And whenever I think that, I think myself as a doctor. If you are a doctor, you are saving lives by solving problems. If you are a doctor of the brain, let's say, then someone has a brain tumor and you know you can solve that problem, then you are not scamming people charging for removing that brain tumor from their brain. And that's exactly what I like to think of myself, that I am that brain tumor doctor who removes the brain tumor from the people's brain, which helps people to live their best lives. And if people pay for it, then awesome, right? That's what I think of myself as, that I am a doctor solving real problems and solving the problem of the people. But that does not mean you have to push hard and sell right away. In fact, it's much, much, much smarter to start by building trust first, which means you deliver consistent value, help your audience get the results for free through your content or through your free calls, whatever you have. Show them that you understand their challenges and you have the proof, you have the evidence. Over time, that trust naturally builds. And when you finally make an offer, it does not feel like a sales pitch. It feels like the next logical step you are taking. But what if you're selling it still too strong? Then don't sell on camera at all. Instead, use your videos to invite people to something simple and low pressure, like your email newsletter, I would say, like your lead magnets. When people sign up, that's a signal they are already interested. Now, you are not trying to sell here. You are not trying to sell to everyone. You are only selling to the people who raise their hand to buy, which means once you get the email, you sell them on the email, all right? And here's the beauty of this approach. On YouTube, if you are not selling, nobody feels like you are selling. You are just showing up, giving value, and growing your audience. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you are building a list of people who actually want to hear more from you. In your newsletter, you can just take your time, share your more stories, build more trust, and then sell in a natural way. This will remove the pressure, the fear of just selling on the YouTube videos, right? And it still allow your business to grow. So do not let the fear of selling hold you back, because it hold me back for a lot of years. Focus on building the real value, focus on building the proof and evidence and testimonials, especially in the beginning. You know the headers, and give yourself the permission to sell in the way that feels right for you. You don't have to follow everyone, but you can model the copy in the beginning. Over time, what happens is you start to develop your own style and you start to sell on your own way what feels good or right for you. And that's what Alex Homoji actually did with his YouTube channel. If you did not know how he did it, and if you want to know how Homoji actually did it, then watch this video right here.